All right. So here it is. The big news. The big news this week that I found when I got up, right, was actually I didn't find it till I connected. I flew from Des Moines to Phoenix, and then I connected, getting my connecting flight, and it was late, and I looked at my Twitter, and people started sending me all this shit about Tom Brady. The suspension somehow it came back. It fucking blew my mind. I was always under the impression that, like, either way, once you appealed it, that last thing was the final thing. I've never seen an appeal of an appeal. Maybe there's been one. I remember when Al Davis wanted to move the Raiders, and they're like, no, you can't do it. And he goes, well, I'm fucking doing it anyways. And then they had a court battle, and he won, and that was it. The NFL just said, fine. Maybe there was a bunch of appeals on that, but that one came out of nowhere. And I don't know, man. I don't want to sit here and fucking be a big baby about it or anything like that, but it just really seems like it just went above and beyond. It's just really extra. I don't understand. I don't get the fucking NFL. I really don't. I don't get why certain things, you knock a woman out in an elevator, you get 4 games. You get 2 games at first, right? Then they bumped it up to 4 because everybody bitched. And then they're like, oh, no, wait a minute. We mean you're out of football for good. The subtext of that, of course, was, no, we're going to lose a bunch of fucking money from women. And guys who remotely give a shit about women aren't going to buy our fucking jerseys and shit. So now all of a sudden we give a shit, right? So I just have to think that this really isn't a money thing. They actually lose money when Tom's not playing. So I really think this is just personal. The Patriots did something to piss off the fucking NFL. I know a lot of you guys who aren't Patriots fans think I'm just trying to make up an excuse, but the reality is the NFL, the only thing they give a fuck about is money. All right? The way they handled all those concussions, the way they finally did that bullshit payout, the way they make money off of raising cancer awareness by having pink jerseys, not letting you know that only 3% of the money or whatever goes to research and they pocket the other 97%. The way whenever they put a camera on, the servicemen and women that they hooked up, gave them free tickets, give them a round of applause. And then they count that as a fucking commercial and they charge whatever branch of service those people are in. How filthy they are there and only give a fuck about money. Tom Brady's Captain America, like the Patriots or not. The guy looks like a movie star. And they make more money if he's in the game. And you're talking about literally a cunt's hair's worth of air. They appealed it and won, and the NFL still was like, no, fuck you. Fuck you. So it has to be personal. Because, and I don't want to name any fucking names here, okay? There's other guys just as big as him who had some really questionable fucking shit that went way beyond fucking air pressure in a ball, all right? And it was just like, yeah, whatever. No biggie. No blood, no foul. So, I think it's official at this point that as a Patriots fan, I am not paranoid when I say the NFL fucking hates the Patriots and has it out for them. Because they're actually shooting themselves in the foot monetarily here over fucking air pressure, over something that they lost in court like a fucking year ago. So, I don't know. I don't know what we did. I would love to know behind the scenes. It's got to be some Robert Kraft shit, I would think. I can't really think of anything else because, I'm trying to be honest here, but some of the other infractions, without naming names, I'm trying to be a class act here. Certain things that went through the mail, wink, wink. Just shit like that. And it's just, nothing. No story. And not to mention, the Colts owner, in his own fucking investigation, they found out that 4 of their footballs were also underinflated. So, we're going on almost a year and a half ago that this happened. This shit's still fucking going. So, all right, the NFL hates us and no Tom Brady for 4 games. I guess that's, whatever. We're still going to win. We're too good. We're still going to fucking win. All you're going to do is just make Bill Belichick a better fucking coach. And he already prepared for this last year. So when we get fucking Janine Garofalo in there again, I think he goes 2-2. I'm looking forward to it. All right. There you go. There's all of that type of stuff. I have to think, what were the fucking odds that Donald Trump was going to secure the Republican, whatever the Republican National Convention Party, whatever they call them, be the presidential nominee for that fucking party? Do you understand that Ted Cruz throwing in the towel? Everybody said he elbowed his wife. He didn't. Okay? She was third man in. I tweeted about this. If you look what happened, he hugged her first, right? And then he went in for the man hug. And then she, according to the NHL rule of third man in, if there's an altercation already happening and a third party enters it, it's an automatic game misconduct. So she should have got a game misconduct, right? If she's done that before in the past, maybe she should get a suspension. I'll tell you what was fucking hilarious. She hung in there like a trooper. She took a knuckle and a couple of fucking elbows. She looked like she was trying to stop one of those little kiddie merry-go-rounds with her head. Just kept taking a fucking bar to the skull. He then did include her. I thought it was weird that she wanted to hug with those two men. I don't know much about Ted Cruz, but I think, I don't know, I felt a weird sort of rotisserie vibe there from his wife that I think already occurred. They were probably hugging, saying, all right, we're going to do this. Let's do it now. Okay. I told you I couldn't do it. I'm running for president. I don't need that shit, but now it's over. And I'm just a senator now. So yeah, I'll be on the other end while you're fucking my wife. I'll blow me a little bit. I don't give a shit. Just push this bill through. Isn't that how politics work? I have no idea. Let's get back to what I was talking about. So fucking, what's his name there? Fucking Willie Wiffle there. The fucking guy with the toupee comes back and around again, right? Donald Trump. I just want the American people to know that by giving him that fucking position in politics, you just cleared the way for Hillary Clinton to become president. And I don't want to hear a fucking word out of any of you Republicans. Not a fucking word. This is the guy you picked. You got no one to blame but yourselves. The only thing I do like about Donald Trump actually being nominated is it makes me feel like it makes my conspiracy theory go down. There's no way they don't count the votes if that guy got in. I used to think they just pretended to count the votes and then they just stuck this, nobody wants that fucking guy in. I know some of the most staunch Republicans you could possibly fucking run into, and they have their head in their hands going, how the fuck did this guy become president? And that's easy. That's easy. All you have to do is look at pop music. You just look at the shit that sells on TV. Bunch of whores screaming and yelling at each other. You know what I mean? It's inevitable. I have to be honest with you. I cannot fucking believe that this guy, he's a fucking star of a reality show. This is worse than when Schwarzenegger ran fucking California. This is fucking, my God, it's just unbelievable. It's unfucking believable. Maybe, am I going to do this right now? Am I going to fucking retract again? Maybe I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Donald Trump's a great, he's a great, it's a great choice out of all the Americans out there that you could have picked. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's have Donald Trump against Hillary Clinton and fucking Barry Sanders coming up around the outside. What the fuck's his name? Not Larry Sanders. Bernie Sanders. What are you going to do? This is just going to be a brutal 8 years.
Let's talk about something here that absolutely fucking enrages me, as opposed to everything else that keeps me so nice and fucking calm. Somebody sent me a story. This is unfucking believable. Some guy goes to jail, all right, for rape. Listen to this. A man who spent 25 years in prison for a crime he did not commit, all right, he went to jail for the rape of some woman, and in 2008, after DNA proved he could not have been the attacker, he was awarded $4 million compensation. That's what he got, $4 million for, and sex offenders get treated the worst in prison. All right, so that guy, let's just say he was just some regular dude. He's like a fucking, construction worker. Maybe he took a couple of karate classes, whatever. Now he's in fucking Thunderdome. People want to beat him down. Somebody's going to try to rape him or something. We've all seen Shawshank Redemption. This is what this guy went through for 25 fucking years, and he didn't even do it. Didn't even fucking do it. So they give the guy $4 million. You know something? Those piece of shit banker motherfuckers are going to come in and tax him and hit him for half of that. That should be tax fucking free. But here's where it gets worse. All right? The guy faces a court battle to keep hold of the money he was awarded for his wrongful conviction, because now his ex-wife, who divorced him 3 years into his life sentence, has taken him to court in a bid to get a share of the $4 million compensation. She claims he owes her the money that she would have been entitled to had they divorced and shared their assets. Can you fucking believe this shit? This guy went to jail for the worst fucking crime. All right? One of them. It's got to be up there if you want to fucking argue about it, right? He didn't even do it. He's sitting there going, honey, I didn't do this. You got to stick by my side. She hangs in there for 3 years. Go fuck yourself. I'm out of here. What do you think she's been doing for the last fucking 22 years? As far as I can tell, besides not working on a career, she's been out there sucking a whole bunch of other dicks. That's what she's been doing. So now it turns out that this motherfucker didn't do it. Okay, and she's stuck by his fucking side. Stuck by his fucking side. This right here is a Hollywood movie. But she fucking left. All right? She left until her stankin' puss smelt all that fucking money. All right? And this is what I want to know. Why isn't this fucking show on The View right now? On one of those shows with all the ladies. Why isn't it on those shows? Why do they constantly show only guys doing shit to women? I get it. Some fucking psycho throws acid on his ex-girlfriend. You got to expose that guy. You got to teach people about that shit. But how about a little bit of fair and balanced reporting? You think they're going to go after this fucking thing? You think if those fucking whores saw this story in the green room, you think they'd be like, oh, you know what, maybe we should talk about this? They're never talking about shit like this. All they do is talk about when bad shit happens to women. And if I, like this shit here that I'm talking about would come off as fucking misogynistic. Hatred towards women. It's unreal. Well, you're taking this isolated incident and then no, I'm not. This isn't an isolated incident. Sugar Shane Mosley's getting a divorce. One of the greatest boxers of all time. His ex-wife not only taking his fucking money, all right? She wants the championship belts too, and she was awarded them. This kind of shit happens all the fucking time. Unfucking believable. Can you and I'll tell you what the funny thing is? She's going to get some money. She'll get money out of it. The same way you hold the door for them, they don't pay for their fucking drinks, they turn around and get hammered, throw a drink in your face, and then the bouncer puts you in a chokehold, drags you out, and then you go to court for disturbing the fucking peace. And what the fuck does she do? She's in there feeling justified, wondering if she has a lawsuit against you because she dislocated her elbow when she threw a beer bottle at your fucking head. Unfucking believable. I swear to God, if I could do life over again, I would be a judge. And I would have a whole briefcase full of hammers because by the end of the day, I would throw them at so many of these cunts' fucking heads. Oh, Jesus Christ. I couldn't. Then I would just be, he hates women. I would be disbarred within 2 seconds. Oh, I would love to be a judge. Lady, you might be the most... If I could throw someone in prison for being an absolutely reprehensible, incurable, fucking money-grubbing whore, it would be you. But I can't. The law does not allow me. So why don't you do me a favor? In a room full of perverts and scumbags, you are the worst. So get out of my fucking courtroom and make it a little cleaner. You fucking piece of shit. I don't know. This isn't even funny anymore. That's just absolutely fucking ridiculous. And what's even more ridiculous is the lack of national exposure a story like that's going to get. So you know what? So let's keep a tally, shall we? We'll start with the Sugar Shane Mosley. Something, he's going through a divorce. She also has to get the fucking championship belts. Why? Because they match her fucking shoes? Or because it's a vindictive move and she's trying to break a man? We'll go with like the lighter ones. Kobe Bryant's getting a divorce. Okay? He's worth $380 million. That means his fucking wife is going to get $190 million. Probably can't hit a layup on a fucking Nerf hoop set. And a bunch of broads will be like, yeah, she's entitled to it. She supported him. Unfucking believable. Just robbing these guys fucking blind. What about that goddamn yellow diamond he bought her? Why don't you go take that down to a pawn shop and live off that for the rest of your fucking life? All right there, ringless. Unfucking believable. How many more men are going to get sliced in half with these fucking... It's unbelievable. It's unfucking believable. And they don't do any stories about it. And when you bring it up, well, we shouldn't have married her. Yeah, she should have ducked. What if I said that, right? Then I'm a fucking asshole? Oh, Bill, where did the Christmas go? What happened to the holidays? Georgia? Oh, fuck. I can't believe I got to go Christmas shopping. Unbelievable. All right, so there you go. If you want to look up that story, we actually got that story from a great website called Barstool Sports. It's all Boston shit, so just to warn you if you're a sports fan of other sports. But, they do have stories like this. All right? The guy's name's Stephen Phillips. His ex-wife is named Tracy Trucker. Oh, what a cunt. Dude, that is first ballot Hall of Fame cunt right there. No question. We're waiving the 5-year rule. You're going right in.
Do you see those two surfers in Australia invented that thing that can vacuum up the ocean? It really can't, but it can get rid of a lot of litter. I don't know how many you'd need to fucking end the swirl we got going out there in the fucking Pacific Ocean. But it was a really cool idea, and it was evidently safe for marine life and all of that type of shit. And it actually gave me hope for our ability to continue being here for any sort of foreseeable future. And then I was just like, what's going to happen is the game that they're going to have to play to get that thing to a national fucking level, international level, that everybody would actually use it. The sea of corporate and political red tape that you would have to go through, and the amount of ownership that you're going to have to give up, probably 100%, to actually make that fucking thing happen, is the chances of them actually using that fucking thing is probably 0 fucking percent. That's what's going to fucking happen. You know what I mean? Hey, here's a thing that could possibly solve the problem. Well, here's the thing. What's funny is you vacuum up the fucking litter out of the ocean, and then where do you put it? Then you put it in the ground. What about the worms? Then the birds can't eat it. Then the cats have nothing to eat. The dogs have nothing to chase. You know, certain groups of people have nothing to eat, right? Then we have nobody to fight. And then fucking our military goes down the drain. It's a slippery slope. You start vacuuming out the ocean. You know, I was thinking the other day, you know, when the world population got out of control is when shit couldn't be made out of natural shit anymore. You know, like if you look at kids' toys, and back in like the 40s and 50s, if you go on eBay and look at those creepy fucking toys played by now dead kids. Kids that have now grown up, gotten divorced, you know. Oh, Jesus, the fucking cloud's hanging over me today. This is what happens when somebody texts me before I want to fucking wake up. I'm grumpy. Back then, if you look at those creepy-ass fucking toys that look slightly haunted, you know what I mean? They're made out of wood, metal. The cars, even like the tires, were made out of rubber. It was all natural shit. So at the end of the day, if you fucking threw those things out, even if you threw them into the fucking ocean, they don't belong in there. At the end of the day, what do you got? You got a little bit of metal, a little bit of wood, right? It's going to break down. It's going to be fine. I'm not saying to throw fucking, you know, old dead kids' toys into the ocean. That's not what I'm saying here. But I'm saying whatever. You take it down to the dump, and all of that shit's going to biodegrade, right? It was, you know, once we went into the plastics, it's fucking over. Because there was so many goddamn whining kids. They had more whining kids than they had fucking trees and rubber. That comes from a tree, right? Just what makes that little old ant think he can climb that rubber tree plant? Ah, fucking, it's a tree and a plant. Doesn't make any sense. It's the Bruce Jenner of fucking trees. It's a hybrid. It's got a leg on either side of the fence. Let me look this shit up. Oh, you get to listen to Bill type here. Just what makes that little old ant think he can climb that rubber tree plant? Rubber tree plant. Maybe they just put plant in there so it would rhyme with everyone knows that ant can't climb a rubber tree plant. All right. Images. Well, that looks like a fucking plant to me. Rubber tree plant. Why doesn't any of them say rubber tree plant on them? The rubber tree plant. You know what? My apologies to Frank Sinatra, or whoever wrote that fucking song. Rubber tree plant. Be the first to view this product. You can get one for $50. Dude, I'm telling you, if you fucking had a bunch of those things, if you had a bunch of rubber tree plants, right, and you just grew them in a greenhouse outside your house, all your neighbors would think that you were fucking, you know, dealing weed, and all you were doing was just making yourself your own homemade radial tires. Can you still buy studded tires? Do you remember those fucking things? They had nails in them. You know? You could run over children with them and they blame the kids. Studded tires. There you go. Studded snow tires versus studless snow tires. Images for studded tires. Look at that. You get a little traction. Then, of course, some redneck's got to do it with the spikes coming out. I love those rednecks who like rolling coal. Fucking dopes. Like they're making some sort of statement. And they always turn it on and they blow the black smoke into a Prius. Yeah. So these guys like pumping their fists. I don't know. It's one of my favorite things. What was I talking about? Yeah, you got to go back to making kids' toys. If I was elected president, if I was running for office, right, that's what I would say. I would go up there. I would completely ignore Donald Trump. And whenever he talked to me, I would just look at the crowd and be like, is he puckering his lips? Are his lips still puckering? I can't look at him. He looks like an old angry fish who didn't achieve his dreams. And now he's picking on all the younger fish. Sorry. And his hair's the color of a goldfish. I would just say, listen, what we need to do is we need to get the population down to where we can make children's toys out of wood, metal, and rubber again. Do you understand me? We got to stop vaccinating people for polio. We got to let the measles come back. We got to burn off the herd. Okay? That's what we need to do. So we can once again make toys out of wood, metal, and rubber. Same thing with cars. And I don't give a fuck about safety. No more crumple zones. All right? Going back to the old days. Gonna stick you in fucking Model Ts, driving around in a goddamn toaster. That's what's gonna happen. And then you whip around the corner, you flip the fucking thing over, and that's it for you. Right? And you biodegrade, and so does the car, because there's going to be no more growth hormones and preservatives or any of that shit in the fucking food. Oh, yeah, people are going to starve. You're goddamn right they are. They're going to fucking starve. But they're going to biodegrade. And they will we'll throw them all in the same fucking ditch, and they will create a fossil fuel that we can use together in the future. What kind of octane do you think that would be? Is that the right word? Human beings turned into a fossil fuel. Do you think we'd be an 87, a 91, or a 93, whatever the fuck that means? Isn't that just a purification process? You know what's funny? There's actually somebody who's not in that industry that actually could explain it. And that's the kind of person you do not want to be in a car with for any I can't remember what the fuck I'm trying to say. Long specific time. It didn't sound right in my fucking head, and I still said it. Long period of time. That fucking guy who just knows a little bit about everything, but he's still fucking in that fucking one-bedroom apartment. You know that guy? Still in that same apartment. He's been there for 13 fucking years, and there's not a subject on the planet that you can fucking bring up. Yet that cunt has not got his bag of gold. Why is that? I'll tell you why. If you're the kind of fucking person that no one wants to drive across town with in a fucking car, do you think somebody wants to spend 8 hours a day in a boardroom with you? They don't. They're going to bury you in that sea of cubicles, right? They're going to use you as a litmus test to see who the fuck is tough enough to get to the next level. I'll tell you, think that Susie Q down there has got the stuff for maybe a corner office. I know what we'll do. We'll stick him right next to Bert, who fucking knows something about everything, right? But can't even clean the sleep out of his fucking eye. Have him sticking his head over a cubicle every day with his stale, not quite bad, but not quite fresh breath. Listening to her conversations on the phone, Mandy, what are you doing this weekend? Let's get brunch. I'm dying to go to Lisby's. They have the best French toast. Then he pops his fucking head over the wall. Actually, French toast was not created in France. Little known fact. If she could fucking handle that, she gets the corner office. Day after fucking day. It's gotten to the point she can't have an orgasm because she just keeps hearing his fucking voice in her head. Her boyfriend thinks she's fucking around on him. Her whole fucking life is falling apart, but she's this new age woman, right? She's willed herself not to have a period. She's going for that fucking corner office. You know something? If you're sitting there right now going, what the fuck is this guy talking about? I'm not talking about anything. I have a moral obligation to talk for a half an hour every fucking Thursday. God damn it, I'm only 20 minutes in. I was woken up before I wanted to wake up. And, I'm a little grumpy. Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, January 18th, 2016. How's it going? How are ya? I am recording this Sunday afternoon, and in Vancouver, Canada, doing 2 shows here tonight. It's halftime. Actually, third quarter just started of the Broncos Steelers. I missed Seattle and Carolina. I know that must have been a great fucking game. It kills me. You never know when you book the fucking gigs that a game like that is going to be on. But I imagine that was as good as the score looked. And, of course, I'm up here in Canada, and I don't know. They just went to Boomer and all those guys at halftime, and all they did was interview Cam Newton. They asked him one question, he didn't answer, he just talked, didn't give an answer about anything. They were like, what do you think you did the second half to, blah, 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 blah. And he just goes, well, our offense and our defense and, of course, the special teams, everybody's got a job to do, and they get out there and they try to get it done. And fortunately today we were able to get out there and execute some of the things we've been working with all this week. And, next week we got another person that we're going to be playing. I should say a team, not a person. We got a team we're going to play. And we just hope that, we're just going to try to keep it going because, we're trying to win a championship here. And by then you're just like, what the fuck did I even ask you? I wonder if, because athletes, anything they fucking say, they're going to take it out of context. So they get trained to just answer and not say anything, just like a politician. I wonder if you can fucking turn that off. If you stay in the league long enough, if you drive your wife nuts, honey, do you know where my shoes are? Well, you own a lot of stuff, and sometimes that stuff gets misplaced. But all you can do is just try to fire on all cylinders and try to find the things that you can have. And if you can find them, you can find them. And if you can't, then you got to move on to the next thing. But, as always, I'm always looking towards next week and another thing that's going to be lost. And if it's lost, we're definitely going to do everything we can to find it, the offense, defense, and the special teams. You're not helping me. Anyways, so I'm up here in Vancouver. God damn it, it's fucking beautiful up here. Fucking gorgeous, man. Especially when you live in, where the hell I live, which was not designed to have really anybody living there other than, I guess, maybe some indigenous people sending smoke signals, probably sending smoke signals that, can you find any food? Because we can't. I'm sick of eating snake. And do you want to get the fuck out of here? However the fuck you do that with smoke signals. It must have been pretty goddamn simple, right? The smoke signals, if they even did it, or is that just another Hollywood thing that they threw I mean, how do you even fucking do that? I guess obviously you got to put the fire out, right? Oh, how the fuck would you do that, All right, one big puff of fucking, so you got to know what kind of wood to burn. What a pain in the ass. Jesus Christ, when you get lost remember getting lost at the mall before a fucking cell phone? That was unbelievable. Forget about back then. If you get lost, you were fucked. Hey, anybody see, what the fuck was that guy's name? Old fucking Redface, where'd he go? Done. I mean, how long do you look? You can't really yell. You're going to attract wild animals. Just walking around the woods. Hey, Eddie, the fuck are you? This isn't funny, man. Anyways, but you come up here after leaving the desert. Whenever I say the desert, I always think of that great Greg Giraldo, rest his soul joke, where he just did that whole thing about how eloquent the notes were that soldiers wrote during the Civil War, versus some of the letters from people coming back from Iraq. I can't remember how the fuck it went. It's really hard to be out here with your ball sticking to your leg out here in the desert. I remember the difference between desert and dessert. 2 S's for dessert, more calories. Right? There you go. That's how I do it. And don't even ask me to spell restaurant because I won't even fucking remember. So anyways, I'm up here in Vancouver. So we go to fucking land. And just, oh my God, all the lush greenery, all the lakes, all the water, everything we don't have down in L.A. Beautiful houses. I guess it's expensive as shit up here. And they were saying how a lot of Asian people, not indigenous, foreigners, they got to get rid of their fucking money. They got to wash their money, or I don't know what the fuck it is. Their government's going to take it all. So they use this place up here like a Swiss bank, and they buy like super expensive places for cash, which drives the housing market up. It's fucking nuts, man. Anytime you go to another country, you just hear the shit that they're fucking dealing with. You always think like you come up here, Canada's going to have no fucking problems. You watch one Michael Moore documentary that just gives you a complete like misinterpretation of what the fuck is going on up here. So I guess they had to make some sort of law that you couldn't do something like that. I can't remember what the fucking person told him. Went all the way to the fucking Supreme Court. There was like a group of people from Asia that was so rich that they actually sued an entire country for not letting them either come into the country or buy a bunch of shit over here that drove the housing market and stuff up or something like that, or buy their citizenship. I can't even fucking remember. But that's the charm of this podcast. You know, I get a little information. I barely remember half of it, and I just fucking run with it. That's all. So anyways, so it went all the way to the Supreme Court, and then they were just finally like, yeah, you kind of have to be from this country for us to give a fuck about you, you know, to like win a lawsuit. So, see you later. And it ended. I guess the lawyer for them knew the whole way going all the way up that it wasn't going to happen. You know, they weren't going to win it. He just took their money. He probably had to sit there and work on his, I'm disappointed we lost Two-Face, you know, as he took all their fucking money. How about the fucking NHL playoffs? Playoffs? Oh, first of all, congratulations to the Golden State Warriors. 73 fucking wins. 73-9. I got to tell you, I don't know. It took 20 years for someone to beat 72. Do you think somebody ever beats? I mean, they had single-digit loss for the season. That's fucking unbelievable. That's about as borderline unbreak. I think that really. Well, you know, so I don't know enough about hoop. Who had the record before the Bulls? Like how long those records last? 73-9. That's going to be a tough one. If basically not even the 96 Bulls won that many fucking games. But those guys, if you had that carrot dangling in front of them, they'd somehow fucking figure out how to win 70. Somebody's got to go 74-8. I don't know that you can do that. And I don't know that I know all the rules of basketball either. So take that with a giant grain of salt. Congratulations to them, and congratulations to Kobe Bryant, Hall of Fame career, going out with 60 points on 50 shots, which I thought was perfect. You never considered your teammates your entire career. Why would you do it on your last night? I thought it was the perfect way he went out. And I love that Nike commercial. The Nike commercial where he stands in the middle of the court and the Celtic fans, really an actor in Celtic gear, gets up and starts singing to him. And all the fans around the league are singing how they hate him, but they really love him and respect him. And there's no other teammates, no other Lakers, no fucking nod to the past of fucking Magic and Kareem. No thanks, Phil Jackson. No nothing. Just Kobe standing in the middle of the court in the fucking Christ pose with his fucking arms out. It was absolutely fucking perfect. Great job, Nike. Great fucking job. One of the greatest one-on-one fucking players you're ever going to see. One of the greatest outside shooters you're ever going to see. And one of the biggest cancers in a locker room that ever fucking existed. He was sort of the second coming of Wilt Chamberlain as far as the points that he scored versus what the fuck he did in the locker room. And I just thought it was fucking perfect. He took 50 fucking shots. I don't think it could have been any more perfect. It was phenomenal. And it was. That is Kobe. He takes 50 shots, he annoys you, but he scores 60 points. You know what I mean? I honestly think that I could have played on a lot of those Laker teams because he's not going to throw it to you anyways. I could have run up and down the court, my fucking pasty legs. How bad would my pasty thighs look in those fucking golden uniforms? Unbelievable. Or even worse than when they had those white ones there for a while. The home white ones. It'd just be like, I don't know, you'd have that little bit of fringe to kind of break at the end of it to break up the shorts and my fucking milk thighs. And then maybe I had some socks. So I don't know. Jesus, even that vision is fucking disturbing to me.
Surprise, we're getting a divorce. All right, here's a new story. All right. Hey, Bill. I know you aren't a therapist, but I think I just want to talk to anyone at this point.
So here goes. I've been married for just under 4 years to my wife, who I dated for 4 years prior to marriage. I love being married and have said that to anyone that asks since day one. We own a nice house together. We have 3 dogs, pit bulls too, good man, and both make a decent living. I share everything in my life with my wife. When something makes me happy, she knows. When I'm upset about something, I tell her. Throughout the course of our relationship, about once a year, she would suddenly, without warning, say she was unhappy and has been for months. Oh, God, here we go. She says she has discussions with her mom, who loves me and is the sweetest woman alive, and close friends about the things that make her unhappy, but I never hear a word about it until it boils over, and she floors me with how unhappy she is. Well, that's not fair. All right, we tried to work it out, though. Make changes. She would act like it was okay while bottling it up again. Once the lid goes on the bottle, there's no opening it again. Each and every time she calls the unhappiness State of the Union meeting into session, I've always been completely honest in saying that I'm very happy with her. I love our jokes and honestly enjoy spending time. And blah, blah, blah. Jesus Christ, dude, get to the fucking point. All right, last Wednesday. Here we go. We had a good night together. We went out for dinner and ice cream and laughed at about blah, 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 blah. So I thought I'd come home. The following night, in general, great mood, and she told me she had talked to her mom and a friend and that they recommend that she talk to me. I was confused. More shit about not being unhappy. Anyways, I wanted anything to make her happy, but she told me she didn't think there was anything. It was very emotional as she finally mustered up the courage to say that we might need to get separated. I was floored, and not in an I'm an asshole husband that sits around, drinks beer, and watches football with his buddy way. I love my wife. We have free... Okay, dude. Okay. So the following day, after much reluctance, I get her to agree to try marriage counseling so we can work out our happiness. Dude, I'm not giving you shit that this is... You're pouring your heart out because this shit just happened. I understand. But for the sake of the listeners, I got to fly through this. I get to agree with her. I get her... Okay. So the following day... It's like Lord of the Rings here. After much reluctance, I get her to agree to try marriage counseling so we can work out her unhappiness. I was willing to do anything at this point. I immediately scheduled an appointment with the counselor and was looking forward to having someone neutral for us to talk to. Later that night, we were laying in bed, and I asked her if there was someone else in her life. She said no. Yeah, dude. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Here we go. We just went over the waterfall, folks. Or you know what it is? No. In this story, we're hearing the waterfall. And we've just looked at the other person in the raft with a panic look on our face for that split second before we try to desperately but futilely try and paddle the fucking thing over to the goddamn coast. Okay, here we go. We're going over. I got a feeling we're going over. She said no. There's no one else in my life. I asked her if she's ever been unfaithful in our relationship, and she adamantly said no again. Then she turned out the light and laid down to sleep. 5 minutes later, she sat up and turned the light on. Oh, fuck. She told me she just lied to me and said that she had messed around with someone a year into our marriage. And he writes in capital letters, what, period, the, period, fuck, period. I probed her to tell me what messing around was. That's got to at least be a blowjob. How did that happen? Fucking whore. And after a minute of me guessing, her silence told me that she went down on a guy she works with. Oh! Swear to God I hadn't read this. Oh, if I was Verzi right now, dude, what'd I say? You heard me. What the fucking creep. I was furious and hurt, then furious again. She cried and said she was sorry. We cried together. Dude, you're a bigger man than me. While I tried to wrap my head around how she could possibly have done that to me. I've had casual flirting with people over the years, but to act on something physically with someone other than your spouse is completely disgusting to me. The worst part is I love this woman more than anyone. She's been here we go again. She's been my best friend for the last 8 years. She knows everything about me. I want to hate her and make her sleep at her parents' house until we divorce, but all I want to do is, be near her again. Yeah, dude, that's because... Yeah, dude, she was in the hurry-up offense. That's what happened here. So now you're scampering, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And she has the next 3 plays that she just called in the huddle. That's why this is why it sucks to be you right now. One of my close friends tells me what I know is the right thing. He goes, let it go. Don't bother with counseling. What else has she done that you don't know about? How can you never trust her again? Bill, is it possible for me to forgive my wife? Am I wasting my time? Also, I found out who this guy is, and I really wish I hadn't. Yeah, dude. Of course, all I wanted to do was show up at the job and beat the shit out of him like Ed Norton beats the blonde pretty boy up in Fight Club. He writes, I wanted to destroy something beautiful. My other thought is, since this guy also cheated on his girlfriend, who he's still with, he did it with my wife. I threatened to tell his girlfriend what he'd done, but not actually do it. Yeah, you don't want to do that. That way, he'd live in fear of coming home and her knowing everything because I told her, or he would try to beat me to it and admit to it, hopefully ending his relationship and getting terminal cancer and AIDS. Terminal cancer and AIDS. And you know what? You're still being a gentleman. I still think that you're handling this with class, wishing terminal cancer and AIDS on this guy. I know you don't give a shit. Of course I give a shit. But not occupy, but I've got to occupy my mind, so I thought I'd do it here. Yeah, dude, why would you think I don't give a shit? You know, I mean, I'm not a friend of yours, but you know what I mean? Give me a fucking break. This is horrific. All right, your first question. Bill, is it possible for me to forgive my wife? Eventually, you're going to have to, or you're going to go on a fucking tear, and you're going to meet some really damaged fucking women, and they're going to reinforce everything that you've now found out about your wife. So you can't do that. You're going to go on a fucking hate fuck pussy spree that is, yeah, you don't want to do that. He said, am I wasting my time? Yeah, dude, it's over. She's not happy. She's not good at communicating. She puts a lid on it, you know, until it boils over. This is the deal, dude. You know what? This is going to kill you. All right? Let's go with the positive. You don't have any kids with her. Okay? You can just walk away. Okay? We had a problem. And there was, there's nothing we can do. It's over. He didn't make it. You just fucking walk away. Just walk away. It's over. All right? That's a good thing. All right? One thing, you've had a bunch of kids with this person who, for whatever reason, couldn't say that they were on. I don't think that she even wanted to fucking marry you. I think she ignores her feelings. She's actually having a fucking breakthrough right now while stomping all over your fucking heart. All right? Well, I don't know. Fuck her. Give me a break, dude. You loved her with all your heart. You say her mother's a sweetheart. You got dogs. You like communicating, dude. You know something? You're like the fucking guy. You're the guy my girl wants me to be. Every fucking woman wants a guy like that. You know, guy who actually wants to be married. Guy who actually comes home and communicates. You know, a guy who gets along with the mom and all that type of shit. You're a family man, all right? Unfortunately, you know, you met the wrong person. So forget that, dude. All right? Forget it. Forget it. Fuck that. Fuck that. It's over. Walk away. Walk away, dude. Give me a fucking break. You know what you're talking about there? You're talking about, like, the amount of fucking shit she has to go through before she even learns how to just communicate her fucking emotions. And the frustration of that's going to mean every once in a while she's going to blow somebody at work. Are you wasting your time? Abso-fucking-lutely. Okay? Abso-fucking-lutely. And as far as, like, going there and trying to fuck over that other guy is, you don't need to fuck him over. He's fucking himself over. He's living a life of misery. That life is miserable. To fuck around with the person that you're with somebody else, that is a miserable life. You know, I don't know. I think it's something that a lot of guys do, myself included, back in the day, in my 20s, going into 30s, trying to fucking, figure myself out. I lived that life, that whole fucking double. It's horrible. It's a fucking horrible thing. And in the end, I ended up alone, and I hurt a lot of people, and I was a complete piece of shit. So, and believe me, dude, it was miserable. It ended up with me on a fucking futon. So, yeah, dude, you're, don't become a piece of shit now. Don't judge other women like that. Just fucking, yeah, get out of it. Get out of it and just know that it's going to be a fucking, I don't know, it's going to be 100 yards of pain that you never fucking dealt with in your life. And you just got to go through it. And I would say the next time you get with somebody, you're going to get serious with somebody, you make goddamn sure that they know how to fucking communicate. Because that's a scary thing to get with a woman who doesn't know how to communicate. Because that's something that they're supposed to teach us how to do. In a way. They make you better because I can just say, no, I don't feel like doing that without fucking punching the wall. They do that so to settle you down. If you get with some psycho and she can't settle you down, I mean, she's damaged goods, dude. Hey, Bill, I need some advice about what a girl did to me. What this fucking broad did to me over here. This person says, okay, so I started talking to this girl and we hung out. And you know what? We had some fun. She's beautiful. Has a great personality. FYI, what pisses me off is the way she led me on by telling me how lucky she was to have met me and all this other bullshit. So I started to fall for this broad over there. She's the first girl that I ever fell in love with. She's the first girl that I ever felt this way before. Now, was that me or him? She's the first girl that I ever felt this way before. No, that's him. And it's both our first year in college. So out of fucking nowhere, she tells me that she's got a fucking boyfriend, which got me fucking mad. The guy's dropping the F-bomb. I'm believing it here. So my question is, why did she lead me on just to drop me for some other fucker? Is this guy Mexican? For some other fucker? I'm stupid because I still like her. Set me straight, Bill, and tell me what you would do in that situation and if that ever happened to you before. Thanks. Oh, Jesus, did it ever happen? Oh, absolutely. I've been both of those people. I've been the douche, and I've been you. All right, let's see here. Why did she do that? Because she's young. You're both young. Let her go, man. She could have done. What could have happened to you is so much worse. Okay. She could have. I don't know. You could have married her, had a couple of kids with her, and then you find out that she wants to be with somebody else. That could have happened. You got off easy. You're young. You're in the prime of your fucking life. You're in your first year of college, dude. You're a number one draft pick. You got your whole life ahead of you. I mean, like the level of fucking ass that you could be banging right now, just out of the sheer potential that your life still has. And what's great about at your age, you don't really have to prove anything. All you have to do is be majoring in something that sounds like there's a bunch of cash at the end of the rainbow. You tell a fucking couple jokes, you're in there. Okay? So whatever. Look, here's one way to look at it. Let's just say that she isn't just young and immature, because that's what that sounds like. That's best case scenario. She might be an absolute psycho, at which point you totally got off easy because she's out of your life. So what I would do is what I always say. This is what you want to do. Next time you see her, you're going to look great because you're going to go to the gym. You're going to get fucking jacked, all right? You're going to get in the best shape of your fucking life, and you're going to start hitting on ass fucking 2-3 levels above her. And one of them's going to say yes. It's the law of averages. Then someday you'll run into her and be like, would you look at that fucking broken down hunk of shit that I actually was worried about? Now look at me. And I'm not saying this new girl isn't going to crush you too. That was bad for me to say that. I'm going to get you to the point where you can't trust people. But, so it's one of the
growing pains of finding whoever the fuck you're supposed to be with, I guess. I don't know. I'm sorry she did that to you. It sucks. I have had that happen to me. I was, how can I tell this story without getting anybody in trouble? It was one of my earlier relationships. This woman was a musician. She was a lot older than I was, and she was in a band, and there was another dude in the band who was married to another chick that was in the band, and, she quit her day job and started spending a lot of time over this guy's house writing. I'm doing the air quotes right now. Writing. Working on music. Writing. The dude's wife was getting upset. Was saying, I don't like you spending all this time with this other woman. He said, it's innocent. We're just writing. We're over here writing. And, my girl came home to me and said she was upset that this other broad would ever think that, oh, my God, how the fuck, that she would ever do something like that. She's like, I would never do something like that. I love the guy, but as a friend, I'm just over there writing. Long story short, me and this woman break up. I start a comedy career, and about a year and a half later, I'm doing a show. And who comes up to me at the end of the show? The wife of the guy that my old girlfriend was writing with. And I say, hey, good to see you. She's like, yeah, I can't believe you're doing comedy. That's awesome. I'm like, yeah, it's great to see you and all that type of shit. And I was like, hey, where's so-and-so? And she goes, oh, she's with your ex-girlfriend now. And I was just like, Jesus Christ. And I realized that they probably were not writing when we were dating. And I would love to tell you that I only had one of those stories, but I had a number of those. I had like 3 women that I know of that did that, And then I fucked around too in relationships. So, I mean, what are you going to do? Well, you give some, you take some, what are you going to do? It happens. It happens. People, human beings, they fuck up. They make mistakes. But you got off easy. Jesus Christ. I told you that fucking story, didn't I? I know I told this one before that time. Oh, my God. That was right when I knew I was going to be a comic. I went to one of her shows, and they were in this band. I can't say the name of the band. All right? I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble, but they made these sweatshirts for the band that they were selling after the show, and they were all white. And they said the name of the band in like this Miami Vice pastel. Okay? And it's the early 90s, so the pastel look is fucking at least, that was mid-80s. This is early 90s. So, they're going to sell these after the show, and the woman I was dating said she wanted me to wear the sweatshirt during their fucking show. And everything in me was screaming, going, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. But for some reason, I was at that age, I was afraid of having a confrontation. And I fucking did it anyways. I sat in the crowd at their fucking show. They had an outdoor show during the day, and I sat there with a sweatshirt on, written in pastel with the name of their band. Ugh. It's unfucking believable. Why didn't I just say, that was so much of my adult life, was learning to just say, no, I don't want to do this. Because I had like more of a, my childhood upbringing was, hey, sit down and shut the fuck up, When that is like the communication that is going on as you're growing up, like you will find yourself sitting at a show wearing a sweatshirt with pastel writing on it. And not knowing that you have all the power to be like, I don't want to do this, and take it off, or just not put it on, But I'm glad I didn't say no, because the only way I knew how to say no then was I really would have hurt her. I couldn't just say, listen, I'm not wearing it. It's too effeminate. Okay, do you have any guy ones?
You got a black one in there with like it's written in something other than pink and aqua fucking blue. All right. I was kidding. Who? If I really loved her, I wouldn't have had a problem. If I was really comfortable with who I was, I would have cut the sleeves off. I would have tied it off, right? Just fucking skipped right down the aisle, professing my love. But I didn't love her, so I don't give a shit that she banged that guy in the band. Good for her. Good on you. Lady from my life fucking 25 fucking years ago. Oh, Jesus. That was an oh, Jesus one right there. That was another, the zillionth oh, Jesus moment in my life. Oh, let me tell you, I had a rough one out there, you know.
All right, weed, pussy, or nothing. Jesus Christ. Pushing all the chips in. This is the World Series of Poker. All right, hey there, Billy Boy. I'm a new listener to your podcast, but a longtime fan of your stand-up. I was wondering if you could help me out with a dilemma I'm facing. So my weed dealer put the moves on me my last time I was at her place. Nothing came of it, but I could tell she was trying to get me to fuck her. Until now, I thought it was weird that she began to sell me pot for practically nothing. Wow. She's cool, and I've hung out with her at her place many times to just smoke weed. Just as well, I'm single, so I have no problem getting some strange pussy that falls into my lap. The problem is that she's a very heavy broad and completely unattractive. Oh, Jesus. But she sells the best weed in the area. Dude, this has all the makings of the great first 10 pages of a script. We've established who the characters are.
Oh,
and now we've got the problem.
Will go super far with this premise.
Oh, God. You know what? You know what I love? You know what I love?
I wanted to do that. I'm
you know
sorry.
that guys.
I couldn't help it.
You know that guys just want to fuck you. Women know that. You use it to your advantage to get shit. And then when we admit that that's what we want to do, you're like, "Duh, is that what you want to fucking do?"
Oh my God. I really wish someone would tell the story about a guy who's getting thrown pussy left and right and doesn't know what to do with it. And it's like a coming of age. And I'm sure he's also fighting with his friends a little bit about like, what dorm we're going to stay in college.
Yeah, this is hilarious. He's got this heavy broad that he's not attracted to, who's his fucking weed dealer.
Yeah.
She's got the best weed.
Yeah.
He knows she wants to fuck him.
What was the rest of the story? Does he want?
Yeah, this is a fucking. Come on, Seth Rogen would crush this. Oh, you are in it. You know what? You're hungry. You're like him in that Snickers commercial. I don't even know who you are right now.
Seth Rogen would write a phenomenal transcendent script that Jonah Hill would act out, and it would just be like, wow, is this what it's like?
What is wrong with you? I like all of those people, and I like those movies. You don't like Hot Tub Time Machine?
What is it like to be chubby and awkward and not know what to do with your life?
Oh, why are you being a jerk?
I don't know.
You're being a jerk.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're hungry.
I'm being a little bit of a jerk.
Apologize to Seth Rogen.
I'm also
Jonah Hill.
I'm a little whatever.
Okay. Yeah, you are. You're a little out of sorts here.
Okay.
All right, you're burning bridges in this town, sweetie. Let me tell you something. Those bridges don't come back.
What's the rest of the story? So
but she sells the best weed in the area. I don't want to not fuck her and then have her cut me off. But at the same time, I feel that if I do fuck her, then I'm no better than an addicted crack whore doing a line off some fat guy's dick.
Maybe.
So guess what? When it comes down to it, do I fuck my ugly drug dealer for good cheap weed?
Oh my God!
Or do I just find a new dealer with super herb and pay more money? Thanks. Hope all is well with you, ginger fuck. Because you ginger fuck.
Have you ever heard the expression "don't shit where you eat"?
Yeah.
Don't fuck your weed dealer.
Yeah. Don't fuck her.
This is a business relationship. Keep it business.
Should he lie and start talking about how he has a girlfriend?
No, just buy weed from her and just let it be business.
Yeah, stop smoking with her.
And also, I mean, maybe she's desperate for your cock, but maybe you're reading into it. She might be trying to fuck you and the next dude.
So she's giving.
A drug dealer.
So
she's a drug dealer. She's hustling. She's hustling for customers. She's hustling for dick. Don't get excited. You're not the only one, bruh.
So you think, yeah, but she's giving it away for next to nothing. If she does that, she's not going to make any money.
True. She's making it in other ways. I don't know. I feel like just don't fuck your weed dealer. That just sounds like a disaster written all over it. Or get yourself a really good connect now, have that in your back pocket. So if you do decide to, the only reason why you would fuck your weed dealer is if you actually want to fuck her, not because you're so desperate for the best weed ever. Have you really had the best weed in like your entire city? Probably not. So calm down. Don't bang.
He's got a dealer.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you know, you're kind of into the habit. You're not just going, hey, can I get a hit off that? When you're fucking going there week after week to the point that your
weed dealers are a dime a dozen, though. It's not like it's a specialty.
But I'm just saying, this fucking chick is he's buying so much weed off her, she's developing feelings for him.
She's not. He might be cute.
Jesus.
And she might have a little crush, but like, it's not that serious. My point is, it's not that serious. Don't fuck your weed dealer unless you want to have a problem with your weed dealer, and you don't want to have a problem with a drug dealer. Trust me.
Weed dealer wants to fuck one of her customers.
Of course, I completely believe it. I'm just saying, just don't go there. It's not worth it. That's my bottom line.
She's usually not this grumpy, you guys.
I'm not grumpy.